Hang on. How you doing? Yeah. Can you give me a minute? Is this on the Hangout? I need to be indisposed for a moment, if you know what I mean, and then okay. Well, I'll jump in on the computer if that's all right. It's a bit more comfortable. I didn't ruin anything. Is that all right? So I'll jump out and then I'll kill this and then I'll come back in on the computer. Is that okay?
Sounds. There we are. We're going to start right up right now. Welcome everyone to Mumbo Jumbo Talk. And later on, we're going to be having hopefully special guests come in and we'll talk about the crazy stuff that's happening. And we know it's crazy. We definitely know it's crazy. And look at that. Look at that. A lot of things happening. I got the Hangouts working up. So if you want to jump in, let me know. We'll get you hooked up to the Hangouts now. Just to check, I'm coming in loud and clear. We're going to start right up right now. Welcome, everyone. There we go. So I hope you enjoyed the music. That was Elephant Talk by a cover band doing a really great job of King Crimson. And I had a thought, and this is the thought. And this thought's been around for a while, but I think we have the reason for it. I think we can see it now. We can see things clearly now. There's a song in that. But in late October of 2019, just before, slightly before, the first example in late November of the coronavirus happened. And then we had reports of it in early December of 2019. But in late October, Bill Gates, with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, had a meeting with the World Economic Forum, and they discussed a simulation for a worldwide pandemic. And, there's a lot of energy behind that. There's a lot of people at this conference, and these people all had connections. Bill and Melinda Gates personally have connections and a force of ideas. Plus, they have the connection of Microsoft. So here we have a force of this idea going out. And now, I'm not going to say that, they wanted this to happen, but they put things into people's minds. And because so many people's minds had this idea put into it, and because the connections are so wide-ranging, that things just fell into place such that whatever it took to have this happen, happened. Whether it's real or false, whether it's a viral chimera engineered, or whether it's natural and allowed to go out, or whether, in fact, it's just people thinking it's real and then reacting to it, and other people feeding that idea in some type of self-fulfilling prophecy, that it just pushes it out there, and it comes true. We now have, whether Bill and Melinda Gates and the foundation and everyone else wanted it, we now have a full-on pandemic situation. Now, maybe part of this comes from the division that's been sown between the former narrative controllers of the mass media of the West, let's say, in large part. This is the heart of the empire. The American and European media have a greater impact on this idea, and it's the force behind the idea that if enough people think it, if enough people push for it, then it's going to happen, whether something else happens or not. So, this is my idea about Elephant Talk, that it's only talk, but if enough people talk about it, and there's enough division out there, there's not a solidity, so you're not talking against a mountain, you're talking against things that can be affected. I'm not talking about changing the nature of the physical world, but of the space that humans can occupy and manipulate within. And so anything that can happen in terms of changing humans' evaluation of things, not the things in themselves, but the evaluation of things. And some of this is a self-evaluation. And, if you self-evaluate that you're strong and powerful, well, that's going to give you a bit of an edge. But if you self-evaluate that you're, weak and pathetic, well, that's going to have an effect, too, on how you enter rooms, on how you convey the message, on how people believe you. Hey, I think we got a call coming in here. Let me just take this call. Answer the call. It's asking me, and I answered. Who do we have here? Oh, I'm not hearing anything. Oh, there we go. I hear something now.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you very well, MM. How are you?
I'm very good.
Okay, good. Now,
trapped in all day, but still very good.
Yeah, oh my God. Okay, I'm going to put you into the OBS now. Hit OK, and then turn on the Hangout. And I'm going to ask a question. Why don't you speak for us?
Okay, 1, 2. I shall speak for you. What? How do you mean? You say 1, 2.
Oh, then 1, 2 is fine. 3, 4 is good.
6, 7.
It's like heaven.
Don't want to be too radical.
And then I'm just going to ask, are we having output here for the men in the chat? Can you hear coming out loud and clear? And maybe we'll get Dr. Rudeness or Stone Reaper to give us an update here, because this is new technology we're working with. This is the second time that, I believe the second time, second?
It's coming out. I can hear it.
Oh, okay, good. There we go. So we've got a few people in here, and I just, as they say, blasted my load and shot my wad. I'm thinking about this, and it was you. It's your fucking fault. You want to know that now. Yeah. You told me about looking up the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation Event 201, right?
Yeah, in October.
October, late October. The first case of the coronavirus would have been, because of the first reported of it was, the 1st of December. So the first case was late November. So do you see the timeline? October, they talk about it. November, something happens such that a person sort of gets whatever it is, and then early December, boom, it's announced. So, So what I'm saying is that the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and those two personally had this meeting, and they've got a lot of connections. So the force of their ideas, the desire, not the desire, but just the force of that momentum of this idea went out, and it just made itself happen. Not that anyone wanted it to happen, but somebody put the idea out there that there's going to be this pandemic, and my God, there was.
Well, as a man thinks, so shall he be.
Oh my. As a man thinks, so shall he be. I like that.
All these success gurus for years have been saying, well, if you see it in your mind and feel it in your emotions, you'll hold it in your hand.
Yes. And now we see this maybe on a larger, on a collective sort of approach. Not that you can change the reality of the physical world, but you change your evaluations of it. And as that affects humans, you really sort of change your world.
And if you change your world view, you affect the outcomes, of course.
Yes, so and it's the outcomes.
That's for your double slit experiment.
Yes, well, that's actually more profound. That goes down to an actual change of the physical world. But, we can only do that on the very small level right now. Actually, I think we're up to buckyballs. It's what, a couple of hundred or a couple of thousand atoms now you can collapse. Holy shit. And anyway, but no, that's it. I was thinking about self-fulfilling prophecy, but what's your term again?
As a man thinks, so shall he be.
Man.
It's a quote. It's not. I'd like to think it's not mine. It's.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. It's a quote.
Get my education for about $5 probably out of the book.
No way. Yes, that's nice to be humble, but now you were told to be coming in a little soft. I turned you up maximum as far as I could go. Is that better? Stone Reaper, hey Wookie, can you hear okay? Maybe you should turn up a bit, anyway.
Right, well, the microphone's up full. I'll get a bit close to the mic. How's that sound?
Oh, yeah, good.
That better. I'll just do the Alex Jones. Master volume. Let's have a look. Input. Test your microphone.
Yeah. Yeah. You should get on a rant here. My God, what a great thing. Going on a rant.
Yeah, I'll rant.
Rant.
I can rant.
Yeah, rant.
People are still bloody stupid. The police are taking time up with kids in the park.
Yeah.
We've had apparently today on the coast, the promenade, the esplanade, the promenade, call it what you will. There've been hundreds of people gathering just because it's a sunny day, and they're seeing it like a holiday.
Yeah.
They're gonna die.
No, they're not. It's the boomer remover. It's the boomer remover. It's going to take out the boomer.
It is an attack on age people. Yeah.
And this is something else I got. I was telling somebody about it, and I got them to look it up, and they couldn't find what I had heard. I had heard that it's the boomer remover, and boomers don't like it. But then, suddenly, after that came out, 2 days ago, today, the opposite message is going out. So somebody's trying to say that boomers don't care about it, when, in my experience, they're the biggest class that do care about it.
Of course they do.
Yeah, they're the ones that are going to die
Worked
more
all
than
their
anyone
life
else.
to want to enjoy their retirement.
Yeah, and they're not going to have it. So many of them, apparently, are going to get it because they're older, and that's it. The silent generation, well, there are not too many of them left, and they should be pretty prepared for death. But the boomers, no, they're just a little bit older than me.
Well, I think there'll be plenty of them survive. I think the people who've got to watch who've grown up with weakened immune systems, these idiots on bikes.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe it's the
weekend.
The soy boys.
Well, you only have to look at the content of what they eat. If you are what you eat, they aren't very much at all. They're very, very weak.
Oh, weren't they eating like those eggs on asparagus toast and shit like that? Yeah.
Well, it is basically garbage they eat.
Yeah, I know.
No, they do. It's just, they wouldn't know any meat if they bit them in the ass.
Yeah, and, you can...
Look at what they eat. We've got a preponderance of vegans, so they don't have any zinc because they don't eat any meat. They maybe have the odd bit of citrus fruits, so they might have a bit of vitamin C. They've got absolutely no chance with the calcium because they don't have anything with particularly calcium in it. Certainly don't have milk or cheese or anything like that because it's all animal based. They don't have any protein in them, so their repair systems are useless. They won't have stored any amino acids because they can't take any branched chain amino acids, which you can only get from animal food. They don't have any vitamin D because they sit in all day playing on their Xbox. So they're absolutely hopeless, and they certainly won't breed because, of course, vitamin D is a precursor to testosterone and estrogen. So they're hopeless.
Well, yeah, but then again, I'm thinking of the poem you said yesterday, and if those people breed, then we're all doomed. What was that poem? It was great.
It was the Bring on the Rosy Cheeked Girls by Mike Harding, around about 78.
My God.
78.
Yes, we're looking for the lads. We're looking for the young lads. I'm older and I want to see the men.
Shoulder to the wheel, lads.
Yes, I want them. I want them back. I grew up with them. Yeah, man, I did. I was one of them. Anyone needed a push in their car, I was there, and so were my friends. For fuck's sakes, we were all there. We did a lot.
The take generation that are immediately behind us, shall we say, and it's not I think we're in danger actually of being a little unfair because we're perhaps going off what we see on the internet, and if you look outside, the ecology hasn't changed. Just the people who making most noise are filling the void because there's plenty of silence left by the rest who aren't that bothered.
Yeah, the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Indeed.
Yeah. But at this point, even with the weakened immune system, I think the death rates it's a linear curve. The younger you are, the less sick you get. And I still haven't heard of a case of a kid getting it. The last one I heard is a kid died, but the kid wasn't diagnosed till after and had none of the symptoms. So what in the fuck is this? What are they trying to do?
Well, the comorbidities, I wish I could remember the video. I watched so many. Just to try and cross-reference things, because, of course, if you go off the mainstream media, it's all about protecting the economy, which is disgusting. But anyway, the comorbidities, the biggest most dangerous comorbidity is high blood pressure.
So I guess I shouldn't be stressed and screaming and ranting all day long.
I think it was 75% of the Italian deaths had hypertension. Although if you've been worried about how they're going to find out they got high blood pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
Could they say they'd already... Well, I put my blood pressure up. If you told me I've got a deadly disease, I think my blood pressure would shoot through the roof.
For God's sake. That's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah. Oh, you've got corona. What? Boom.
Boom.
Yeah. Boom, up goes the heart rate. Bang.
You're going to die a horrible death. No.
Yeah.
Thank God I'm dead.
you're gonna die worse than drowning. So perhaps that's not such a great guy, but the obese were about 30% of them. More like, I think it was the likelihood, because the percentages add up to about 300. So
Oh yeah, I know.
I'm probably misinterpreting the statistics, but if you had 3 comorbidities, you're pretty much on the same deal as the hypertension.
Okay. Now my question is, okay, you got these people who you say test positive, okay, and with these comorbidities, is it the same number of people dying as were dying before? Except maybe a few extra people because of the heart attacks, because they're stressed out. We got to know that. Are we experiencing more deaths than normal?
I don't know. I mean, this could have been a normal. Well, we've been due for an economic collapse for a long time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you suggest that this is a virus and you don't call it flu, and you use this as an excuse because it's pretty virulent to crash your economy deliberately, nobody gets the blame.
Yeah.
That's Chinese Communist Party, that is.
Yeah, exactly.
But I've got been sent an email with the best theories. Now, I love a good theory.
Yeah.
I love all things conspiracy theory, but I don't agree with anyone particularly, because you end up shouting at the microphone and selling colloidal silver.
Yeah, I'll buy.
I'm sure you theories. Where they are they now? Is it martial law declared? Oh, anyway, I've got the link. It's a link, not an email. It was in an email copy.
I'll throw it up for everyone, if you like.
Yeah, I'm going to do just a second. Right, hang on. The paste. Send. Right, there's the link, and there are 4 theories in there. Beautifully laid out. The first one is official narrative is true. That the bat was nibbled on by somebody from a bat from a wet market, and the virus spread. The second theory is official narrative is almost true, so it leaked accidentally and got to the wet market.
Yep.
Third theory is a convenient scapegoat. The virus did actually naturally occur from a bat or whatever, but it's been used by the central banks and governments as an excuse for upcoming financial collapse, which was inevitable. And fourth theory is part of the world's elite plan to thin out the population and get rid of the oldies. The virus was created and released on purpose in Wuhan by some other mechanism. There's also a theory about it being an attack by the CIA, dropping it into Wuhan, spreading it out from there, blame the Chinese for the Georgia Guidestone thing.
Yeah.
So the proponents of this theory, it says, crash the global economy, acquire all the assets, oh, by the way, China are buying up massive amounts of stock. Have the masses on UBI, Universal Basic Income. In other words, you can make them dependent.
Yeah.
The dependence on people will force compliance. There we are. Those who don't comply, cut them off financially. China will be praised for its swift, decisive action on coronavirus, while the democratic countries will be criticised for not doing enough. This, amongst other strategies, will be used to convince people to have a one-world government so we can all coordinate.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's an interesting set of theories.
Yes, it is. And they're all they're completely reasonable and practical. They're practically minded, and they all fit the facts. At this point, I don't think there's sufficient information to say one way or the other.
But in essence, it doesn't really matter, because I still haven't seen any bodies.
Neither have I. So in some way, each of these can be either that, okay, there is a virus, but it's not making anyone really sick. It could be that, or there is a virus and it is making people sick, but
no more than any other.
But my ideas are slightly more, madcap, one would say, in that we have a force of reality, which is the narrative, let's say, and the narrative forces things to happen based upon sufficient movement of ideas. And this has caused it to happen. And so we're masters of our own fate as long as we think good thoughts. And we're dead if we think bad thoughts in some way. And that this force is part of a larger movement where external to human forces, such as this one, maybe sentient forces, are guiding humans towards a larger fate, either rising to the next level, which is some sort of transhumanist level, or putting us, to sleep because the demiurge is here in the Black Triangle, and it's getting afraid of us because we are rising to the level where we can do it harm. And so it doesn't want that. It just, wants it the way it was, but can't have it that way. And so that's a force that's, impelling this type of event to happen. Maybe on schedule, or maybe just accidentally, but it's going to happen eventually. Yeah.
Well, funny you should say that. I got a link today. Our great transformation begins now.
Oh, yeah.
Which is an amazing coincidence. Spirit Science is the channel. I'll just copy the link.
Okay, then.
Share, just 1 second. Copy the link. Yeah, this came in my I don't know why, because it's not something I've looked at for years. I mean, you're on the internet, you go chasing every theory you can find, success, positive thinking.
Yeah.
What's it of attraction? And I found this is what it. This is the link. I'll chuck it up on the thing. And it says the transformation begins now. So I haven't watched the video. It's just a link I was.
Okay.
In my recommendation.
Well, that link you sent me by, God, what's his name? Let me find his name. The Camelot person, right?
Oh,
Ryan, Bill Ryan. That's it, Bill Ryan. Yeah, no, that's more along what I'm thinking for the larger conspiracy. In fact, he basically mentioned it, right? He would be right where I am. Although, it can happen in practical ways too. So.
Well, something's going on. And the spectre of hyperinflation is now of grave concern, I think.
It is now, yeah. I was getting concerned about it this week. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yep.
So I just put that link up, the video link up into the Discord, so it's up there in coronavirus documents if anyone wants to get to it, Stone or anyone else. It's in the link too, so that's fine. There's a lot of information, as you say.
And again, that's just the fact there's a ton of information is a debilitating weapon, because it's taking your attention.
Yeah, that's right.
You're looking over here, and oh, lo and behold, there's something happening over there. Now, what's going on in Greece with the migrants? Going on over there? What's going on in Syria? I have no idea.
Yeah, no, I don't, because it's too much to think about. And, after this thing took off, after it got to, basically 100,000, I said, well, we're going all the way up. Whether true, whether false, whatever it is, they're going to take it all the way up. And I think the counter narrative, I think it's an information war, that the counter narrative is that the chloroquine will solve it. We don't quite know how, but it's an amazing thing. It solves malaria, and you just take it. We've had it for 100 and some years. It's safe. You take it. It's cheap. Bing, bang, bong. You're done. So enough people take that. They don't get it. And the young people are partying on the beach. Now I hear I hear some of them are getting it, but I don't hear that they're getting the symptoms. They're just testing positive, and I think they're going to test everyone positive eventually.
Well, the British government is trying to bring out an antibody test as soon as possible. And for those not showing symptoms, they'll take the blood and they'll see if they've got antibodies.
Yeah, which means, and then they're just going to say yes.
They could go back to work. That's going to be the best way to get the economy going.
Yeah. If you've already had it, but then there's the repeat reinfection. But what the hell's the problem? If you've had it, get back to work. If you haven't, you're going to get it. And most of the time, you're not even going to know it. You're not even going to know it. And what about the antibody test? Maybe they're just going to say everyone's had the antibody, and anyone who gets it after that's just reinfected. Or it's not coronavirus. Maybe we're just going to say that and be over with it by June or something. You know?
Maybe.
Maybe this is a war of narratives. It's an info war. It may not be an actual war of reality, although there may be some stimulant virus that was the initial cause, but it didn't go very far, and they just kept up the hype. Italy wanted a piece of the action for some reason. South Korea wanted it for some reason, and the tests were.
Italy was on.
Yeah.
Italy was on the brink financially.
On the brink.
Very handy.
And they, as I say, they had political trouble, and South Korea was having social trouble, and maybe they just wanted.
There's been an earthquake, by the way.
Oh, really?
Did you know?
Where?
Hang on a minute. Earthquake. Earthquake latest. It's in Zagreb.
Oh yeah, Croatia. That was like 4 or 5 days ago now. Pretty big though. Funny. You saw buildings toppling over on cars. That's not an earthquake zone, is it? It's fucking Croatia.
Yeah. So, latest earthquakes.
Yeah. There's like hundreds every day. Small, little, tiny things.
Puerto Rico, 2.9, 3.1, 4.1.
Yeah, but did you hear about all the volcanoes erupting at the same time? Like a record, like by far, like wow.
Yeah, that's been going on a while. See,
Yeah.
again, that could have released something, couldn't it?
Yeah.
It could be a cloud of cyanide gas or something.
Yeah. Or, you know, what I'm saying is that there's a connection. There's a connection between the energy of those volcanoes, you know, releasing whatever's causing it, and other energies, which are causing the upside down, the insanity, the incremental insanity.
Well, the Earth has a frequency of natural C, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it? And so, if we're thinking of it when is it when there's a volcano, doesn't it release a ton of sulfur?
Yeah, sulfur and other things, yeah.
Sulfur, brimstone, that's what it's called, isn't it?
Yeah,
Brimstone.
brimstone.
I wonder, it'd be God, wouldn't it be great if sulfur were the fix for the virus?
Yeah, my God, so the cure to the virus is to hang out
Just
by volcanoes.
To me that, right, let's see the effect of sulfur. PHUR, spell it properly. Sulfur upon. It'd be interesting, wouldn't it? As an ancient sulfur dioxide on A2 influenza.
Sulfur and influenza. Yeah, well, sulfur is good, you know. So,
Sulfur dioxide effect upon viruses.
yeah, it's going to isolate them, right?
Inactivation.
Yeah.
Well, it can't be good for them because sulfur dioxide, if you dissolve it in water, produces sulfuric acid, which is one down from sulfuric acid.
Yeah.
Many resources, sulfur dioxide has been evaluated to determine its potential to inactivate retrovirus, reovirus and poliovirus. Reovirus in wastewater, sulfur dioxide treatment reduces the virus by 90%. Poliovirus in wastewater was ion activated by 97%. What if this is the Earth protecting us? Wow.
Well, the Earth is a system. Yeah. So Stone Reaper in Italy. Yeah, your son's in Italy, living the La Vita Loca. That's a crazy life. But yeah, in Italy. Well, you know, I hope it's okay if you haven't heard from him. You should probably.
Hasn't Etna just been active?
What's that?
Etna. Wasn't Etna?
Yeah. Etna was smoking or bubbling or something. There were 40.
Volcano.
I looked them up. What about 3-4 weeks ago? There was 40 of them. Somebody said there's like way more than ever, and I sort of know about them anyway. And so, you know, it's nuts. Why is it so active? I recently read about that incident off of Mayotte. They want to claim it's an underwater volcano, but they can't find any evidence of it, and so this is just a theory. And So, but it was a very strange event, and there's hundreds of underwater volcanoes, at all times, and it's never happened before. And this was not last November, but a year ago, 2018, November. So it's like a clock ticking. Every November, some bizarre thing happens as a release of something, and then we suffer something from it. And
No, I can't find any latest. I'm on the Smithsonian Institute.
yeah, there's a volcano site which is pretty good. Let me see.
I'm just on it now.
But
Eruptive
it's
history. Here we go.
it's the locust now, right? The plague of locusts in Oman. Did you see that? It's
Oh, no, I didn't see
disgusting.
that.
Yeah, no, there's hordes of them. Oh, flocks. Nobody call
Oh my
it.
God, yeah. There's desert locusts are on the prowl in Oman.
Yeah.
No. But they get cicadas here and there in certain places as well. Well, the worst locusts in February 2020. Wow. Locusts. Worst locust infestation since 2014. Wolf business.
Yeah, here. I can do this.
Something's happening.
Yeah, something's happening. I gotta say that. So,
Apparently, humid and heat is good to get rid of viruses. I thought it was different to that it needed. Somebody was showing me something today that they really enjoy the dry air.
yeah, I don't know. It's
I've no idea.
I got no idea.
Some-
So I got a map up here of the volcanoes if you want to take a look on I don't know, on something. But I got a map up here, and we got the red ones. That means it's blowing. It's blowing shit. Yellow means it's erupting pretty heavy, and there's a light yellow or something, which means well, here's down the bottom. So major eruption, erupting, minor activity, and then just a light yellow is unrest. So let's do a count here.
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 red. That's a lot. I remember looking at this and getting like 4. I was on this site, years ago, back and forth a few times. 4 or 5 in the red, and now we got 22. Plus we got how many dark ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, another 12, 13, another 13. What's that? 30, 35 in total, which are what's the major eruption, erupting, or minor activity. So the minor activity is like smoke and shit.
Krakatoa going.
Yeah, Krakatau's going. Oh, God.
Oh no. I've just hang on, stop. Oh,
Yeah, it's right here.
Krakatau.
Yeah.
Sunda Strait, Indonesia.
Yeah.
It's yellow.
It's yellow. Yeah. So it really blew. That's where that there was a tsunami or something, and it that was the mountains sliding into the freaking water. So. Whoops.
Should use these as lottery numbers. 35, 22.
There we
You
are.
know your luck.
Yeah, for God's sake.
Yep, you've won 10 squillion pounds, and that means you can buy a sandwich.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Welcome to hyperinflation, but yeah, if you do catch on to this language, I'm treating this as a language. There's a strange eruption, like a complete anomaly, a geologic anomaly on a date, and then there's this other event happening, and if you do a synchronicity and make a connection and you get a number from it, then use that as a lottery number.
Oh, yeah. Some of the numbers I'll enter.
Yeah, my God, man.
punt. I'm sure that'll work.
Yeah,
Totally work.
If I could get the number scheme, but you can't get the number scheme. Yeah, because it's like you're colorblind to it, but somebody can see it. I'm convinced there's some artist, some futurist or something, who can see it, and they're not even going to be right 100% of the time. But a colorblind person will be right some percentage of the time, right? They'll be able to say, "Oh yeah, that tree is green in that painting." Well, they're going to be right some of the time, even though they're colorblind.
True.
But if you have a good sense about painting, then maybe you'll say, "Oh yeah, I know the trees are golden in this one. I can tell," and maybe you can see something, even though you're colorblind. I don't know.
Well, some people can read art like people read handwriting.
Yeah, there's stuff like that. So
what's the word for it? Phrenology. No, that's
the bumps on the head.
bumps in your head, isn't it? There.
Yeah.
What's the word for? I can't remember. Writing analysis.
Yeah, handwriting analysis. Yeah, I can do that.
I know I can do it to a little degree where the crosses and the dots and the relative sizes of letters and the positioning and the spacing to see if somebody's under stress or not.
Oh,
But
yeah,
that's
yeah.
pretty obvious,
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
If the dots are circled, they're quite creative with a bit of flair. If the dashes,
Now,
the dots are not perfectly aligned, giving a rush and so on.
No, I can tell you whether their shirt is buttoned up and whether their hair is parted. I'm not joking, my shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, you took it to a good level.
Yeah. No, I used to evaluate people's writing. They were there. They were adults. And so their writing was there. And I got to evaluate their writing. Then I'd see them in class. And that was it. Back and forth.
Dear.
Holy shit.
Oh, well, in that case, I'm going to do some writing and put it on the camera. Right. Oh, this is too good to me.
Listen, I can tell you what your handwriting's going to look like. I can tell you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just get a lined piece of
Hey,
paper.
Mgtow Warrior, and in fact anyone else, do you want to jump in? I'm on a hangout now, Warrior. I'm not going through the Discord. I'm going through Google Hangouts. I'll send you an invite right now, and if you want to jump in, you jump in with MM and me. Let me see if I can.
Please note use of proper object.
Whoops. Let me. There, I just sent an invite. We'll see how this works. And if you want to take it. Come on in. It said, oops, try again. What in the hell does that mean? Oops, try again. Maybe it didn't go through. Okay.
Just doing a bit of handwriting.
Okay, I sent invite, and it said, oops, try again. I wonder what the hell that means.
Well, my internet crashed before,
Oh, did it?
Quite scary. I went on the Asda, which is Walmart to you,
Okay.
Asda website, and there's so much traffic you can't get through. So I've had words with my neighbours. If one of them can get deliveries, I'll hand over some cash and get them piggyback the. Might as well. It's a time for social cohesion, I think.
It is, yes. It's the time of unity, of getting together with the neighbors. Yeah. Now, listen, I just did a test, Warrior, and I sent an invite off to MM, and he's already in the link, and there was no problem with an oops. With you, I'm getting an oops on your Gmail email address. Has that changed or anything? Has your email address changed? Because I got a Gmail address for you. And it seems to go oops when I try to send an invite to you, but not to say MM. Maybe I'll try somebody else.
Isn't it Mgtow Warrior at?
Well, yeah, I think so. Hold on, I'm not there yet.
Hang on. I'm just doing a photograph of my handwriting for you to peruse.
Well, maybe I'll send an invite to Trav and see if he can come in.
Oh, cool.
And Oh yeah. Okay. Just get to the right screen. My God, I'm getting confused. I'm not used to these screens anymore. Huh. Oh my.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm just yeah, as you can tell, I'm how come I can't
Right. Let's have a look.
Yeah, it's been such a
Yeah.
long time since I've been in Hangouts. I was never very good at it, and now I can see why, because it's messed up. And
Trying to find my just uploaded a picture and no, I can't find it.
huh. If I could figure out how to bring people in, I would do it.
Yeah, just add the link to there.
I don't know. Can you add people? Can you send people invites and it works?
I think so. Hang on a second. Try to get you this picture.
Yeah, I'm checking my links here, and I don't see why. I don't know why.
It'll be fine.
And I'm running through the alphabet here, trying to get things. This is crazy. This is crazy TV, and welcome to the crazy world.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm just trying to send you an image.
you can put it up in the Discord. That maybe.
I'll send it by email. It'd be easier. I've already got that. I know that.
Okay then. Yeah. Huh. Oh, isn't that crazy? I can't invite Trav, so I'm just gonna call him and see what the hell's going on. Can you hear that? Can you hear the ringing? I guess not.
Right, there's the handwriting. Let's see if I can get him. A minute. Where are we? I can't on here.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be picking up here. Okay, so he's not picking up. Yeah, see if you can invite him and bring him in. Oh yeah, no, he just gave me a notice here. If I could wait. Okay, let me check my email then, and we'll take a look.
How added unknown? Now he's in.
I don't know. So
Unknown. He said he's unknown.
unknown.
Mgtow Warrior Nation is in.
Oh, he's in.
Yeah, Mgtow's Nation is in.
Let me see. Maybe I'm having some trouble because there. I'm sending another invite out to Warrior, and I think we're fine. I think you got this one, MW. If you want to jump in. Holy shit! Now, I'm trying to have this thing work. It's Google Hangouts. We're back to the old one. I got it running through the OBS, And can't get your picture out, but yeah, who in the hell cares about that?
Well, it's less fine. It's a hangout, isn't it? It's a live stream.
Yeah, we're okay.
Right, well, I've sent you the email in my handwriting, so I'll probably turn out to be some mad axe murderer.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Yeah, I see it here. Okay. Okay then. Oh, look, where are we? Yeah, we'll put it up here.
Well, Warrior's in the chat according to the.
Yeah, he's in the chat, but I just sent him an invite to jump into the hangout. I think it went through. And oh, there. Hold on. Let me answer this call. Hello. How are you?
Is that me?
Okay.
What's up?
Well, what's up is I'm on a transmission right now on a different Google Hangout.
Different Google from.
I'm running the Hangout through the OBS, so I wanted to bring you in, but I can't send you an invite for some reason.
Well, it's gone quiet. I don't know if my. Hello, hello, hello. Yep, still, microphone's still working. He's still there, Values?
Yeah, I'm still here, but
Okay.
but I'm trying to talk to MM at the same time.
Oh, wow.
How do I invite you?
We'll soon find out.
On an OBS.
No, just through the Hangouts. How do I get you in the other call?
Oh, you copy. Go to up in the. There's going to be a invite thing.
Right, the invite thing.
Yeah, you copy that link and just send me the link on this private one, and then I'll just hit the link and come back in.
Oh, I'll send you the address then, right? The URL address?
Yeah.
There, okay.
Yeah, if Hangout still works that way.
Yeah, here, I'll send it right now, and then you can jump in with MM and me.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you on
There.
YouTube?
I'm out, and I'm back in. I think I'm back in with you.
Yeah, let me try coming in that way, and that should bring you. I didn't know Hangouts still had Hangouts.
Well, I don't know either. I seem to be running it. Are you there, MM? Are you there?
Yeah.
No, I'm in a hangout with Trav. Oh my! I got 3 hangouts going. There, I'm out of that one. Let me get back into this one.
Okay, I'll let you go, and I'll hit this one and come on in.
There, MM, are you there? No, I'm out of that one. I don't know what to say, whether I'm still transmitting at all. I'm trying to work out this Google Hangout situation, and that didn't seem to work. So maybe I'll try with Trav, and we'll use this one as the base one. I'll send an invite to MM. Or maybe it's now ended. No, I don't seem to be able to connect. There. Anyway, that's all messed up. And so I'm going to just reset the system and maybe move on. And sorry about the delay. Sorry about the situation. Can you hear me? Is going to be another thing.
On with Trav. Oh, God.
Oh, man. Where are you?
You're nuts.
There. Are you here? And I'm on with you. I don't know how that happened because I just deleted a conversation with you in it. But you're here. That's great. No worries. I know how it works now, or I know how to accomplish what I want to accomplish. And there,
Are you there?
I'm there. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Where's Trav?
I just put the link into the chat if anyone wants to jump into the Hangout, and I'm going to send it to Trav right now. So we got the link, and we'll see if anyone wants to jump in. But that was the problem. You were trying to call me when I was talking to Trav.
No, I didn't call you. I clicked on whatever jumped up, and oh, there we are. Whee! Hey, Trav.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're
Yeah, I
coming
can
in
see
good.
you as well.
Cool. Okay, we got that figured out.
Woohoo! We're up.
So you're OBSing it.
OBS is running the Google Hangouts up to YouTube.
Okay. The expert at that was SFM. He knew how to do all that.
Yeah.
I never got into the OBS.
Well, I did, and then I went up a whole other level a couple of months ago. And when somebody suggested I do this, I knew what to do. You just got to click that OBS takes control of the audio. If you don't do that, you think it doesn't work. So
that's what was happening. The OBS wasn't doing the audio, right?
So you just go to the browser, and you put the URL of the Hangouts into the browser, and then you click on OBS takes control of the audio, and then it's up and working.
Oh, so you can OBS like from Skype, from Hangouts, from any service you can OBS from.
Any service you can OBS from. So you just make sure you link it up.
Right, got it.
It's like a portal. So,
okay.
So anyway, it's a good thing to try. I didn't think we could do it, and then we did it, and now we did it again today. Let's just check with the men. Can the men hear everyone?
Oh, you're up on YouTube. I can put that up.
Yeah, I'm up on YouTube, and so we had a little bit of a mess up. Warrior, I just sent you an invite, and there's the link now is down in the chat, just below there. Hangouts, Google. So if you want to just click on that, you can jump in, and you're right here. I didn't think we could do it.
Okay, there, I can see it now. Oh.
Yeah. How are you, Trav?
Oh, great. I just got back from shopping. I had to do 2 trips because I couldn't fit 2 boxes on the bike. So it was a nice morning. It was a little over 50 degrees, so I went out for a bike ride.
Yeah.
Did my shopping, got my exercise in, and weird. It's a weird thing going on now out there.
It is. What's weird?
Yeah,
What's weird about it?
I see a lot more people walking around in like small family groups and like groups out there, and they're just kind of isolating themselves away from other people, but they're in their group, so it looks kind of funny. It looks like almost like a school group or something. The stores are empty. The shelves are terrible.
Yeah.
There's food and everything. There's a lot because we have a plenty here, but there's no hamburger. There's no milk. There's no cream. The deliveries are late. There's pretty much chicken and high quality beef, but there's a lot of things that are empty from the stores. But me, I'm just a single guy, so I grab canned meats and bread.
Spam, 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 spam.
Lovely spam, wonderful spam.
Spam. Fried spam and eggs are the best.
Yeah.
Oh, we're out of eggs. There was no
The
eggs.
side of spam, of course. You need
Yeah, spam with spam and eggs and spam.
Spam,
Yeah.
spam, spam.
I was
spam.
really surprised about that there was no eggs. And that just kind of tells you that there's the corporations are doing too much now for us in something like this. If we had small farmers in the area, then we would have eggs and we'd have cream. And it tells us a lot about our society.
Yeah, when you said that, I'm thinking, why aren't the farms delivering? Like meat and fresh hamburger and fresh milk should be readily available. But it's not. That's
It's
telling.
not.
Yeah.
No, if you don't have, I was thinking, that's just almost, they put out in America, they regulated against back in the 90s, they regulated against these small co-ops.
Yeah.
And then, but them were the independent farmers, and they made them all go to these big business things where they just give their meat or give their milk or give their into the distribution, and it goes to what's called a cleaning area where we could check everything. But without the small farmer, this is what happens. And
that sounds like Soviet Russia during the purges, the Kolkhoz and the Sovkhoz.
Yeah,
you send all your stuff into a central clearing.
it's a central area. Yeah, everything goes to the central, and that makes it safer nationally because everything gets checked. But in times like this, we don't have eggs, we don't have milk. There's no hamburger. There's no there's a lot of things. Even the fish I seen was stagnating down. What else was it or not? I was trying to really kind of observe what was going on in the store, because after this thing ends, that's when, being a responsible person, we got to go to our councilman, we got to go to our businessmen and say, hey, this can never happen again. This can never happen where you don't have milk and bread on the shelves in America.
Yes.
Same here. I mean, I began to see empty shelves only 2 weeks ago, and then boom, once people had changed the diet from stopping eating toilet paper, it was high fiber, it's high calorie. So, well, what the hell else are they doing with it? Ramming it up their ass? I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Yes, that's what you're supposed to do with it.
Get your ass in the shower, for God's sake.
Yeah, this is that thing where feminism is taking a hit now, a big hit. I don't know if you read the articles and and what was it? There was an article yesterday, and feminism is taking a big hit. And who uses more? Who uses the most toilet paper? Women. Yeah. Women. And now, and then with this thing in America, send the National Guard, and all they're doing is saying send the men in.
Yeah.
Send the men in to take care of this. And it's like, oh, well, the men aren't prepared now because we've been beat down for the last 30 years.
Not in my house.
Not in my house, yeah. But a lot of things are coming out about how our society is dysfunctional in times of crisis, and them things have to be taken care of, and they have to be. We have to be stronger nations, and I think feminism is one of those things that we need to stop arguing about. Our social service. Think how badly America's social service. We have one of the biggest hospital systems. We have some of the best hospitals in the world, and none of them have any idea what to do when a small virus comes around.
Yeah.
We spent $40 trillion since 1972
Jesus.
On these hospital systems. And they're so ill prepared. Who's taking care of it? Send the National Guard in, send the men in.
Yep.
What they're saying is the men are going to have to fix this again.
Yep.
Exactly that. I don't want to get into it. I mean, it's pitiful. I'm at the point now with this thing. With Mgtow, we'll keep. I mean, look at what we're doing now. We're keeping everybody's chin up by communicating around the world. Mm-hmm. Men find a way. You're in America. Values is in Vietnam. I'm
Southeast Asia.
In Britain.
Yeah.
Southeast Asia.
And we just did it with Hangouts finally. We were doing Discord, we were doing StreamYard and Skype,
we'll figure it out.
and we're going to figure it out.
Yeah, and the potential for keeping each other well is the information. So I've been talking about vitamin D, vitamin C, zinc, vitamin A. I know you've got bone regeneration information there, Trav. So there's all this stuff that we may have found collectively that we can argue through and say, well, actually, that's only part of the story, and we can fill each other's gaps in and say, well, look, this is the optimum way through. Right. Have you thought of trying this? Don't bother with having a high carb diet because viruses thrive with high blood sugar. So there's that, you need to be eating fat. So I went out and I got rice and 6 kilograms of ghee. I've passed that information on to as many people as I can, and I know you're up with all that, Trav, so I'm not going to tell you. Do you know what I mean? So all this stuff, we are actually organised and can protect each other by information.
Right. Right.
So when you say send the men in, yeah, right. What's the first job? This. Right. How fast would the National Guard triage? They go bang, bang, bang. Right, you're out, you're dead. Boom, 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 boom. And I'd triage, by the way, by how much tax you've paid. Well, what's wrong with that? If your tax dollars are paying for the medical industry, why shouldn't you benefit from it? So why should they be wiping out all the boomers who've worked all their life, been through world wars and God knows what strife, to present this medical industry, and you're triaging for the kids who don't pay anything? No, not right.
Yeah, but they cry the loudest.
No, I don't care.
Give me.
If we're talking about everybody by the socialism, if you really want socialism, by your ability to pay, or each to his own capability. Right, what's your capability? Fuck all. I'll get dropped dead.
No, it's the opposite of that. It's from
whatever.
from the capability to the need. So if you got zero capability and a lot of need, you get it anyway.
Oh well, wasting my. Well, fair enough.
Yeah, now we got to take a look.
Unfortunately, I don't know anything about socialism, so that's okay, isn't it?
Yeah.
Take a look at our Health and Human Services, because they have dropped the ball so terribly during this. And then their answer is self-isolate. If you're dying, then call us. And that's like saying we have no clue.
Well, that was the Japan model, and I talked about that, 6 weeks ago now, that given so many cases, if you got mild symptoms, stay at home. It's only when it gets real serious that you figure, okay, I got to go in.
Yeah.
But yeah, they should have known that right from the get-go. And, MM and I were talking about how people with heart conditions and high blood pressure and shit, they're dying. It's a comorbidity that's higher. Well, of course it is. Somebody tells you got the COVID and you're going to die a horrible death. Blood pressure is going to go through the roof.
Yeah.
And you're going to die.
That's what it said in the chart. I looked at that. 75% had high blood pressure. Of course they bloody did. They feel like they're dying.
I'm going to die.
Yeah. No. My link here is Health and Human Services has so been active in the last 20 or 30 years in mail services, divorce services. They become the one stop for getting a divorce. If you're divorced, you have to. The males are going to have to go down to Health and Human Services in those buildings, and they do take care of all. They've been wasting their time trying to make slaves out of males instead of making a better society and doing the one job that they have, keeping society healthy.
Yep. The slightest.
I mean, all this crap for years. We've been talking about how you should have plenty of fat in your diet. Let's just take that as an example. What were the shelves cleared of? Bread, sugar, oatmeal. No, should have been cleared of fat. And that could have been, in wartime, fat is rationed. Why? Because it's a main constituent for a healthy diet. Yeah. Just unbelievably bad. And we're locking everybody up so they can't get any sunshine, so they can't get any vitamin D, so that weakens your immune system. Right. Absolute nonsense.
So important too. You got to have those tabs in your bag or whatever you're doing, around the house. I keep the vitamin D tabs around, and once in a while when I'm just start feeling down and I'm searching for that one thing, my saying is sometimes you just need a glass of water and you're eating chips, you're doing things, you're like, wow, man, I don't know what my body's craving. Sometimes it's just a glass of water. Sometimes it's just a vitamin D tab.
That's right. And you need 5,000 IU. Yeah, 4,000 IUs. Yeah, 5,000 every day. And then a dose of sunshine. And you've got to really go for it to OD on vitamin D, by the way.
Yeah, especially
which is a precursor to testosterone. Right?
There's no sun. There's no... there's a direct link between D and D-aspartic and zinc. And D gives the males the raise their testosterone to get that energy to get back out there, and it's a binding thing too. It's like you have it, it comes in a bottle. You can get 500 for I've had mine for 2 years now.
Well, I've got capsules that hit you faster, 5,000 out. First thing
Yeah,
every day, bang, straight
yeah,
in. As soon as they got a whiff of this thing in mid-January, I
yeah.
was out banging the fat. I thought, right, fat's the fuel for the vitamin D. Get the vitamin D. I've got iodine drops again, which is a massive
Iodine
effect.
too. I've been doing those.
Iodine drops. I've got lemons and limes, vitamin C. I eat meat every day, which is zinc. I have an egg every day, vitamin A. That's a combination. The only thing I'm lacking a little bit
Yeah,
is magnesium and vitamin B6, which I think B6 with plenty of veg in my diet. But anyway,
What
is
about
fine. But the
now? What about that stomach stuff like Mylanta? Does that have magnesium in it?
that has magnesium, but that turns what a Ma and sulfate, MaSO turns to salt in your stomach. So you want to watch it with magnesium,
Okay.
especially them in the tabs, the Tums tabs.
Yeah.
That's what it does. You don't want to make that chemical combination where it's turning into salt and then you're purging it.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
best way
Okay then.
to avoid having to eat Tums is apple cider vinegar, because the reason you get indigestion is as you get older is that the acid reflux, because I fixed my
Yeah,
reflux and it was bad, very bad. Did a little research. I think we discussed it, didn't we? I'm sure we've discussed all this sort of stuff. You've got a valve at the top of your stomach, and reflux is basically the valve turning itself inside out, or the pipe a little bit with really bad cases. And it's the signaling system is lack of volume. The signaling system, sorry, to shut the sphincter at the top of the stomach is an increased volume of acid. If you don't have enough acid, it chucks it up. The valve doesn't shut and it backs up. So what in actual, it's counterintuitive. Don't take the Tums. Take some apple cider vinegar and water. Increase your volume of acid in your stomach. That snaps shut, and I don't get any reflux. I mean, I was almost doing what my dad used to do: is go to bed with Rennie or Tums or whatever, and that's why I dropped the wheat, because wheat aggravates that as well. So taking out the wheat, adding apple cider vinegar, I'm absolutely and weight loss occurred because my digestion's better. All this stuff, my gut biome must be deadly to any virus. I think touch wood. I hope to God. I feel like I've got an immune system like a brick crusher. So it doesn't necessarily mean I'm not going to get ill, but if you remember the other week, that cold I had lasted a long time. That could have been it. That could have been it. Anyway, I'm rabbited. But like you say, Trav, it's amazing how we're not being told this. Why aren't they issuing messages like, get out in the sun if you can, find a quiet spot, take your shirt off, get out in the sun, half an hour. Ladies, get your tits out. But make sure they're 2 meters away so there's no temptation, and you can get the nice figure in. Mind you, they're all fat, so that's not good, is it? They
yeah,
drain the bloody energy out of the sun, like bloody what do you call it? The solar panels drag all the the UVB out of the light.
yeah. There was something you said earlier about the egg. Now, when I eat eggs, I there's something a lot of people do, and it's really helpful. You separate the white, and you make your morning breakfast. Right, keep those yolks and everything, and those yolks. You can mix your vitamins with those yolks and use a micro mixer, and especially vitamin A. The vitamin A, the limonene in the eggs attaches to the vitamins, and you take 300% more in. Your body can absorb it faster with the
Wow, I
limonene,
didn't know that.
the egg yolk.
That's
But
similar to the effect of black pepper with turmeric on the
yeah,
anti-inflammatory. So
it
let me get
is.
this right. If I separate an egg yolk
Yeah,
and put vitamins in it,
yeah.
all
And
right,
then
okay.
you have to like a sonic generator or something. What a lot of people use is those jewelry cleaners or a sonic toothbrush. You just kind of mix it with that, a sonic toothbrush, and then because it needs that little bit of extra. If you mix it with hand, it's not going to do it. It's going to stay separated. But if you sonically mix it with a jewelry cleaner or a sonic toothbrush, I use a toothbrush because got a ton of them. I don't know why. It's like, and that binds it then, and then the limonene and the egg limonene, or I think it's the L. Uh, it binds and then it takes it into your body really good, especially with vitamin C. You can do 3,000% on vitamin C.
So I don't have a sonic toothbrush, but if I added an egg yolk with lemon juice
Yeah.
and
Oh,
stirred
yeah.
it a little, would that work?
Yeah, you could probably do it in like a whipper, like to make mayonnaise.
I could just use a fork, surely. Would that not have the...
That's not going to do it. A lot of people that I've talked to says it's got to be quite vigorous.
I could really whisk it up with a fork.
Yeah, it's got to be really maybe a coffee
Well,
grinder or one of those
I haven't
mixers,
got one, right, okay.
those hand
Or a
mixers.
hand blender.
Yeah, hand blender would probably, because you get over 3,000 RPMs with that too. So that's
So
probably close.
lemon juice and egg yolk would really boost my vitamin C.
Vitamin, yeah. If you want to put vitamin C right in the egg yolk and make like an acidic mayonnaise and use it on your sandwiches, that would really be great for you. Plus, you get the fat with the mayonnaise.
Yeah, the fat's important. Wow.
And that's just a little bit of oil, a little bit of it. But yeah, you gotta, to make mayonnaise, it takes a couple times. Or the French call it, what do they call it? I can't remember. Aioli.
That's
And
garlic, isn't it?
yeah, you can make aioli and put it on sandwiches, and it's great and it tastes good, and you can really perk it up with the vitamin C.
So if I squeeze a lemon into an egg
lemon,
yolk
Yeah,
and whisk it, I mean, I
Whisk
could use a fork. That's all I've got is a fork. So if I give it some hammer, that'll make it more absorbable.
yeah. The acidity might break down the. The acidity may crack the vitamin C and break it down into the egg yolk. Then too, it's yeah. That's probably a good way to do it too. Is bring up the acidity on it.
So,
But
egg
vitamin
yolk,
C is naturally acid too.
yes, it's the acid is the protective covering of the vitamin C, isn't it? 'Cause
Yeah.
there's 6 or 7 core factors. It's not just the citric acid.
Yeah, now that's where my theory from naproxen comes in too. You take the vitamin C and the steps with the naproxen, and then you boost your testosterone, and you get the higher levels, and you peak certain levels with stuff. And then naproxen is made from vitamin C, which is acidic acid.
I need to write this down. God, you know some stuff.
Start taking notes, man.
This is what this is for. You, I know it's not going out, but this is what I'm. By the way, this is what I'm reduced to of an evening.
Oh,
Reduced, or elevated. I think it's elevated.
Well, this is reduced to. This is pretty elementary geometry.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
If you can
I
see
got
it.
yelled at once for doing. I was doing equations for fun. You know, they're just fun sometimes to do equations in the sun. And because you want to remember all those little signs and everything. And I was doing equations, and someone walked in my house and was like, "All you ever do is do equations and sit there and yeah, it's good."
One of my favorite books. It's one of my favorite books.
Yeah.
I keep that by me. This is when maths was difficult at school. This book.
Yeah, they're fun, and if you start doing it, it's fun to figure out those things, and you go, "Wow, I just did that."
Yeah, I do the same thing with logical arguments. I sometimes decode them into letters and do the.
Oh, do you do the truth tables?
The truth tables and all that sort of stuff. And
yeah, now linguistics and the truth tables, that's another form of keeping your mind healthy, and and after a while, it becomes natural. You just start doing truth tables in your head as people are talking.
As people are talking, that's what I do. I'm horrible like that.
So let me get this right. Egg yolk plus lemon juice, whisked.
Ooh.
With
That's a meringue.
Yeah, it is.
That's like a lemon or a meringue on top of a pie, whatever.
So long as I don't put sugar in it, because sugar will defeat the lemon juice.
Yeah, don't put no food sugar in there.
Put sugar in it, that absolutely knackers vitamin C. So egg yolk with lemon juice produces more available vitamin C.
More available vitamin C, yes.
So it's bioavailable, as in I'll get something out.
You can use vitamin C tabs, or you can just go straight to the acid, the acidic acid, and buy the acidic acid.
I'll squeeze a lemon into an egg, whisk it up, drink it down, try not to vomit. Right.
Yeah,
You
but
probably use a
Would it
lemon.
ruin it if I put apple cider vinegar with that?
Yeah, you can
That
use
would ruin
vinegar.
it, would it?
Yeah, maybe some. If you do it with a little bit of maybe grapeseed oil too, or a good oil.
And what about, well, I was thinking ghee. If I warmed up a bit of ghee and stuffed that in
Yeah,
it.
you might want to try ghee too.
Although in that temperature, if it's cold, it'll solidify. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
might need to
But you
warm
have to
it
do
up.
that in a certain order, or it won't bind and get that fluffiness. But
yeah, you want the fluffiness.
yeah, you want that fluffiness like a
So
mayo.
I need a fluffer.
Yeah, you need a
Yeah,
fluffer.
fluffer.
Oh, you got to go get a fluffer.
I bet they're out of work at the moment. Oh no,
Yeah.
2 meters. I can't do it at that distance.
You put an ad in the paper, you'll get a fluffer soon enough.
Use a garden rake or something. Just
It's a garden rake. A garden hoe.
you mean a garden hoe, yeah. For a bit of outdoor.
Yeah, I so need a garden hoe.
Oh dear God. Right, so egg yolk and that. So that's extra vitamin C. So that's that taken care of. Right, okay. And if I put a bit of ghee with it, warm ghee.
Yeah, no,
fact,
the
it's
key is
temperature,
bioavailability of whatever it is,
Yeah.
whatever nutrient it is. It doesn't matter if it's not
Yeah.
bioavailable.
Well, the thing I've sorry.
Why don't they just put that on the package and shit? You know, it's this is the amount that's bioavailable, etc.
Yeah.
But then I suppose you
Again,
eat other
because
things.
then sorry.
Other things will remove the bioavailability of some things, and vice versa.
Yes.
Right. So.
For example, if you have brown rice, the biotic, not the biotic, there's an acid in there. It'll just totally destroy any food value in it. So just get white rice. The brown rice is a complete story. What's it? What's the? Is it?
Like wild rice, isn't that wild rice in some places?
Well, it's actually not rice. It's a completely different species.
yeah, yeah.
Brown rice in
Oh,
ancient times.
I know
they
what you're
beat
talking
the
about. We
ragged
have
out.
that species here that grows in the swamps, but nobody collects it. It's a wild. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a wild grain rice.
It's a grain. It's like barley or something like that. It's closer to barley than a rice. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
Shame too when you see it out there and it's like you see like a swamp, and then you see it just sitting there and it's just growing and dying and growing. Nobody's collecting it.
What about eating grass seeds? Isn't that a grain? Can't you eat grass seeds and shit?
we shouldn't eat grains. Full stop. It interferes with your mineral uptake in your rest of the food. That's the problem. You see.
Well, with lots of wheat flours and that glutens.
Yeah, the grains put a sort of greasy coating, if you like. It's not correct, this, but in layman's terms, it's a greasy coating on your ileum wall, and that prevents minerals being absorbed. Now, considering the food you get is so processed, it's not the bacteria aren't dragging in enough minerals anyway. Hence this preponderance now of people feeling so great on Himalayan salt because it's got all the minerals you need, apart from iodine, which I'm supplementing with the drops.
Yeah, that's
So,
magnesium. Yeah.
you are screwed from the get-go if you've got a high gluten diet, which you will have with modern wheat, which you will have with grains. You'll coat your gut wall. You won't absorb any minerals. So your minerals are the fundamental for your immune system. So
Well, how is it that humans have survived eating so many grains? You know, this was a great thing, wasn't it? Grains or potatoes, grains? I guess they're not.
Yeah.
So we're talking
However,
rice and wheat mostly.
Starches.
True. However, in Roman times, they would eat an oatmeal mixed with pork and vinegar. And the vinegar breaks down the grease and the gluten, and that was how they got the troops to
So
eat this,
I got an idea now. If I have a sherry before dinner, that's going to sort of clean off that goop on the stomach walls, right? Because that's
yes,
like
and
vinegar.
it slows down it affects the speed at which sugars affect you, hence the aperitif.
What the hell does hence mean?
Well,
What-
an aperitif increases blood flow to the stomach and to the initial stages of the
Oh, I see.
intestine,
That's what it
and
means. I
slows
see.
down absorption of sugar so that your blood sugar level comes up slowly.
Alcohol is a sugar. Your body converts sugars to blood alcohol.
Right.
And then if you drink sherry, the alcohol just goes directly into, and your body doesn't have to refine it then.
But it also has another function, which is to clean out the stomach wall, so you have a better bioabsorbability of certain things, right?
Right.
So there's,
Yeah.
as I say, there's a give and take. Maybe you don't want so much sugar directly into your bloodstream, but you do want the
Resveratrol. Well, the resveratrol is the real health aspect of red wine, isn't
but
it?
what about
It's,
vinegar? Isn't that
Red
also like
wine
a
is-
sugar too? Vinegar is like a sugar, or it's not like a sugar?
Oh, vinegar is an acid. Yeah, it's acid.
So it's not going to do the same thing and send sugar right to your bloodstream. So it's better to drink a glass of vinegar before you eat. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, to
If
up
you-
your
Oh,
acid
okay, good.
level.
Yeah, give me that
And that'll
vinegar.
shut off your
Vinegar right
Well,
over here.
Yeah.
apple cider vinegar, by the way, slows down the speed at which food exits your stomach. So it actually is all the way around better for digestion because your food spends longer in the acid.
Listen, if the apple cider vinegar would just slow down the insanity that I'm seeing, I would be most appreciative. Just slow down the nutsoids, please.
Apple cider vinegar, it's just, I can't believe it. The medical community have never investigated it. It's just it's not a panacea. There's no such thing.
Now I got
But
another
my
question
God,
for you.
since I start-
Yeah,
Sorry, go on.
I'm going to interrupt here because what happens if you eat like pickles, like dill pickles, which are sitting there
Perfect.
in the vinegar? Is that like drinking a thing of vinegar before dinner? Like
Yeah.
having those pickles, is that a good thing?
It's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember what? Who was the queen of that queen? And that's all she would eat is pickles, and it's like, yeah, pickles are very good for you.
Yeah, yeah,
Get your
so-
vinegar.
So that's part of this creating a better bioavailability diet, right? Just make sure you get
Yeah.
some vinegar somehow, and everything
Yeah.
in moderation. This and
Yeah.
the bitter, the acid and the sweet, and a little bit of
Thing
grain
with
is
the
good.
moderation.
Moderation.
Yeah, the moderation was moderation when the food that was taken in was good for you. If you now take modern food and try
Yeah.
and balance a diet with that garbage,
Yeah.
then it's
No,
moderation's out the window.
Yeah, no,
If
that's
you
right.
go
We're
back 100 sorry.
Yeah, 150 years. It's going to be better. So it's moderation of real food, not the false food.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The preservatives are. We use fake preservatives. Back in the day, if you wanted to preserve beef, you pickled it.
Or
And
And
salted.
back in the
salted.
day,
Yeah.
you salted it, and you had roast or corned beef then, and it's beautiful. It stays longer. It was a good thing. It's not really bad for you. The sea salts that they would use back in that time was, better for you. And or vinegar and pickling spices and pickles and stuff like that. That was a natural. What it was a preservative.
Yeah.
And
So was
the
curry.
preservative-
That's what curry powder was originally,
yeah,
to dry your meat in the sun and
to
then
dry your
coat it.
meat.
Yeah.
Now I got a question for you guys. I forget this, but there's something about the Native American Indians down south who used the corn, and they used to grind the corn and make the corn flour, and make whatever it was. But they put something in it to make the nutrients in the corn bioavailable. Because if you just eat the corn without adding this, you're really getting very minimal bioavailability. What is that thing? Does anyone know?
I knew what the corn. Corn is basically corn flour, corn.
Corn's basically sugar. If you boil it down, it's lethal. It's probably something acidic.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was.
What is this? American Indians?
Yeah,
You gotta
American
say it.
Indians. Yeah.
Okay,
Anyway,
what they had available to them.
and they put this powder in it, and that's why they got so much energy from the corn. Anyone else would eat it, they would starve to death. But they didn't.
They make it using borax.
Yeah, something like that, that's ringing the bell
borax.
now.
What borax that you clean your hands with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now you do, but back then it was something like that. It was.
Well, it's amazing.
Anyway, I'll look it up and I'll find it. But this is the whole thing. It happened naturally, and this is what I was thinking. The bioavailability of certain foods happened naturally, and if it didn't happen, you died. But we had it in the West, and then we started this, artificial food stuff. Lower the cost, and now we're back into a state where we're killing ourselves.
Well, I've, as you know, well, Travel know this because we discussed it about 3 years ago. I started researching after a health scare years ago on on what I should eat, and I've boiled my diet now is so light, but my weight is so steady and my fat composition so low. I just feel like I've found the secret, and it's not a secret. It's just what we used to do. I'm not having 10 pints a night. I salt my food. Salt lowers your blood pressure overall. In fact, without salt, you end up with acid reflux. The story of
Yeah.
salt is a complete lie. Proper salt is about 75% sodium chloride. The rest is minerals.
Yeah.
All the minerals you need, barring very few, like zinc maybe,
I see.
is quite low, trace minerals. It's such a lie, and that is absolutely rude. So if you have sodium chloride, the chloride is used by your body to make hydrochloric acid in your stomach. You don't have enough salt, you end up with a serious digestive tract
But
problems.
salt and minerals are important.
Yeah.
I see so many old people falling for this "don't eat salt" thing because they may have some heart product.
Yeah.
No, eat salt in moderation is what they're saying.
Moderation.
Get your salt. Now, my mother used to do that. She no salt diet, and then every once in a while she'd end up in the hospital, and the first thing I see them putting in there was the saline and salt.
Yeah,
and she
because your
believed
blood
that.
pressure drops to nothing. Your blood pressure drops to nothing. If you have no salt diet, you die. It's
You
an
die.
absolute central pillar of your diet, and all this crap. So there's that, and then there's the have more calcium. Well, it's a bioavailability. If you want calcium, raise your acidity, because the acidity in your blood level allows you to absorb calcium. And there's plenty of calcium in the modern Western diet. There's tons of fucking calcium.
I'll tell you what, if you want Alzheimer's disease as a man, keep putting calcium in your body.
Yeah.
Men should not eat calcium. That's like the difference between a female diet and a male diet that they don't explain is the high calcium in a female diet. Men put that stuff and they go mentally ill. They get sick. They develop Alzheimer's disease. And that's what the wine and the blueberries and the stuff. A male's diet should go around wine, blueberries, a little bit of alcohol, high fat and meat, and some slow amounts of from all that bread and all that calcium, all that fruit and everything. You might want a little bit of fruit, but you don't want to overdo it with bananas. I was looking at that banana diet; it was driving me nuts. These guys were eating a banana diet. I'm telling them that's going to kill you. That's going to kill you. It's going to give you Alzheimer's.
Yep. The other thing linked to Alzheimer's for men, of course, is keeping your bowel open. If your bowel doesn't work right because your diet's out of whack, the toxins back up and go across the blood-brain barrier, so you're screwed. So overall, if we totally ignore what's on TV, we have proper salt in our diet. We've got apple cider vinegar going on, resveratrol from your glass of red wine. Your diet, your diet will look like you're eating fresh air.
Yeah.
Because you don't, and as you get older, you don't need. Oh, by the way, Trav, I found out that if you take supplement leucine in your diet, as an older man, you can absorb amino acids better, and I found that to be true. I'm absolutely six-pack and splits in my biceps in my 50s, and I'm not. It's like if I wish I'd known this shit in my 20s.
Yeah, that's I worry about losing muscle mass as getting older. If you lose muscle mass, then you become one of those old guys with no muscles.
That's right. So leucine is the key there. So this trick with the egg. I fixed my shoulder, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah, I saw a physiotherapist, and he gave me a tremendously painful exercise to do, and it worked. Turns out that this joint here is dislocated, and I'm carrying an injury here from fighting years ago. I got I said, well, I got punched in the 80s. He said, yeah, that'll do it. He probably broke the tendons, the ligaments at the back, and he'd be carrying.
Did you have to do the thing against the wall?
No. It's the arm up the back. With
the arm up.
Coming out of the back like that. You see?
Oh.
It's pulling my arm up like a scapado. It's agony. But that's it. So I can't do it now because the gyms are shut. And surprise, my shoulder's hurting now. What's this crap?
Sorry, mine are still good. I'm just.
Well, this one's bad from pushing a car. This one's the damaged one is the best one I've got. Mini lockdown. Sorry, I'm getting my Corona hotline. So this is the information we should be chunting out.
Yeah. The male diet, that's what Mgtow's for. We're talking to men, about your bodies. Don't believe anything you hear on the internet. If it doesn't come from a male-minded person, then they might mistakenly, like I said, with the high calcium, and mistakenly do things to you that they don't mean to do to you, it's going to reduce your testosterone. You're going to start getting fuzzy in the head, and then you're going to wonder why, and then that multiplies itself.
I think you got something there, Trav, that the advice coming to men should come from men.
From men.
And those men should be men-minded men. And that's
men-minded men. Yeah, you got to think about what the male body is.
Yeah. Not any body, but men's body. That's it.
Men's bodies, yeah. And there's sort of this body soul thing where you get in touch with yourself, with being a man, and you start asking your questions about what I need. I need high fat. I need high fat. I need zinc. I need to get the testosterone. I need to purge estrogen. I need to get mentally clear. A glass of wine ain't so bad. Blueberries, tannises, some coffee once in a while is pretty good for you. Chocolate, all these things in a female
chocolate every day.
Yeah, all these things in a female diet, they're telling you not to do these things.
Yeah, well, it may work for them, and whatever works for them is fine. But what's going to work for men should work for men, and men should be told that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and fast every so often to get the autophagy going.
I was going to do it now that I'm just sitting around here. I was thinking yesterday I was going to start a purge and then do a fast and then restart and just kind of restart. I haven't figured out what I want to, how I'm feeling. I got to sit down and like zen myself out.
Yeah.
Ask myself, what if my body feels like? What do I need?
Yeah.
What's that calling? What's calling to me?
Exactly. And listen to it. Listen to it.
Listen to my body. Listen to those signals. I'm reading a book right now about signals, and I can't remember Sionism, and about reading the signals in yourself and get in touch with yourself.
This is wisdom we're talking about here, pure wisdom.
Yeah,
that's the reality. I can't believe that it took me years to twig that if you take in all these protein supplements, you're going to end up estrogened out.
Yeah.
And it sounds completely wrong, doesn't it? Oh, men need more protein.
Yeah.
No, they do not need more protein.
That's what I was talking about with those slight steroids or the androtestosterones. The andro ones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The precursor.
And then these guys get completely estrogen out, and they're wondering why. Well, you're opening up, and in this soy boy thing that they've been doing, soy inhibits only one thing. It inhibits the female receptors. If you with the androtestosterone, it turns on all those female receptors, and that's why they have the round muscles, not the square muscles. They start looking very estrogenated, and they got the whole thing wrong, and there's a whole industry built on it.
Huh.
With soy protein, my neighbour's just bought a ton of it. I've been training him, and he's built like a brick shithouse now.
What's
he's got great genetics. And I said, you've bought a protein shake with bloody soy in it. I said, if you're going to eat that, have that because he's bought it as an emergency MRE, which is fair enough. That's fine. If he's on a survival kick, that's fine. But I said, well, you've got to be careful with soy because it'll give you tits. I said, you've worked so hard to build the muscles. You've got that in the bank, but be really careful with how you take this stuff.
Yeah, no. So you can use it as it's the same way you use iodine. If you don't need iodine, you shouldn't take a lot of it, but you take iodine to get that original spark, and then that turns on your thyroids and it turns on your digestive system. So don't take it a long period of time. Take it a couple days. But soy, in a way, is the same thing as iodine. You could take it once or twice to turn off the female receptors. And then you go with a strict testosterone like aspartic acid.
All right.
Sorry,
so
I'm missing something here. So soy, like say soy milk or something like that. So you drink a glass of soy milk and you turn off you turn off women's like or estrogen receptors or something in your body.
Yeah, you turn off you turn on the male receptors, only the male receptors in your body, because we do have two kinds of receptors. We have receptors that are male receptors, and right now in most men's bodies, they did a research with homosexuals, and they found out the difference between homosexuals and the regular males is their female receptors were turned on.
And you drink soy to turn it off.
You turn it off.
But
But don't drink a lot of it because it'll have a negative effect after that if you keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it.
so you just take a little bit of soy for a couple of days, and then no soy for like 3-4 weeks
Yeah,
or
I
something.
would eat it for like, yeah, you just use it for what it does. And so it turns off those receptors.
Oh,
But
I
don't.
see. Right. So if I took soy a little for a couple of days, dumped
Hmm.
it,
Yeah, a
and
couple
so
days.
with these iodine drops I've been having,
Hmm.
only 2 drops in water, but it's quite a serious amount, twice
Yes,
a day.
it's
I
six
should not.
myself.
I should stop it then.
Yeah, what you want to do with thyroid, you don't have thyroid problems, right?
No, absolutely not. No.
Okay, so you don't need steady amounts of iodine. What I do with my iodine is I'll do it like a couple days in a row, and then that if you read about it, it'll tell you, the doctors will tell you you can use iodine too. It just sparks it. What you need, and it's your digestion. You'll notice the digestion change right away, and you'll notice the things that it does, and then you end that. If you
Right.
do
I did
completely,
notice a big difference. I mean,
oh,
I just end up. I got a 6-pack in a week.
about a week, yeah.
Huh.
Honestly, I didn't. I hardly trained. That could be the recovery ability.
Yeah,
Kicking in,
but I did notice with
I
the iodine, if I did it a long period of time, it really didn't have an effect after that long period of time. It had that
Right.
original effect, and then the
Right.
original effect is what I wanted, anyways.
So if I said every 3 weeks,
I would probably do it the same way, month on, a little bit in that month. Turn it up a little bit with the iodine, and then turn it off for a month, and then that gives your
3 days
body
every
a
4
chance
weeks.
to
Yeah.
recover.
All right. So that's the iodine. I'm all right with the vitamin C because that you can't store. The vitamin K2, that's had quite an effect. That's obviously
Yeah, that's what I can't figure out. I can't figure out the vitamin K because I've been trying to get information on the some really good scientific information on what the vitamin K does and what it attaches to, and I keep running back into the magnesium.
Mm. Well, the
And
magnesium, if you have quite high levels of vitamin D, your magnesium gets depleted because
yeah,
magnesium works in with somehow with the vitamin D3.
so
There's
that's maybe
B6
someone
involved
that
in that
knows more
receptor.
about it, like
Right.
someone come in that knows a lot about the vitamin K and knows the chemical breakdown of it.
Have you come across Dr. Berg,
No, I
Eric
haven't.
Berg, on YouTube? He's got some fantastic information on all this stuff. Very, very
Okay.
good. Eric
Yeah, because I need to
Berg.
see it before I start doing it, and I need to see it in the carbons and how it binds, and
Mm.
to know exactly, because I don't trust anything.
Well, this fella's got quite a reputation, and everything I've tried of his so far has worked. I mean, I got the apple cider vinegar, did it the way he said. So I'm going to try this egg yolk thing. I think that's going to be useful because of vitamin C. You can't go wrong. I mean, that the arterial effect of vitamin C. It's never publicised this.
No,
Atherosclerosis can be reversed if you cut your sugar, because the sugar stops your availability of vitamin C, the complex. The vitamin C is used to create collagen and strengthen your arterial wall, and therefore your arterial wall becomes so strong the plaque that's sent to fix it up just
right.
drifts away.
What's that
Yeah,
again?
Drifts away.
So
So
you remove sugar and then you do what? What again?
the sugar, well, the sugar's got so many negative effects it should almost be banned.
Yeah. So you
Right.
remove
So
sugar,
just
then
follow
what?
this. Well, I'll just go through because Trevor and I've discussed this long and hard over the last couple of years. If you take in sugar, you raise your insulin level. The insulin level affects your liver. Your liver starts producing VLDL at an enormous rate, and the size of the average particles, each of those particles is carrying cholesterol, which is a good thing, but the particle size of the protein is so small it traps on the it traps in the cracks in arteries more than it should. Now that is the correct mechanism. That's like chewing gum on a crack on a wall. But the into where the branches come off a main artery, depending on whether you genetically got a curve or a spike, the VLDL tiny particles gather there and block off the smaller artery, the subarteries first, and it backs up. And that's all caused, if you follow it, it's like sugar, insulin level raised, effect on liver, liver produces VLDL, which is carrying, and they're blaming the cholesterol for the occlusion of the artery. They're blaming the bloody cholesterol. That's
Sorry,
like
you lost me on that.
blaming the knife.
How do you reverse arterial sclerosis? How do you do that?
Right,
You take
well,
sugar out. You take sugar
take
out.
sugar out. Well, the other effect of sugar is to reduce your access to vitamin C with regard to fixing up the arterial wall. Now, the arterial wall, scurvy, when the arterial wall cracks, that's scurvy. In the initial stage, you get the bleeding gums and the bleeding toes because the pressure on those little capillary type.
So you remove the sugar and you punch up on bioavailable vitamin C.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would add like a natural, like grapeseed oil. You even switch from regular oils to olive oil, or grapeseed oil is the best because you'll notice a testosterone rise too. The grapeseed oil is just really kind of good for you if you're going to use it.
That's why I went to ghee. That's why I went to ghee, because you get the same thing from the ghee.
Yeah, because you get the there's two kinds of the cholesterols, and you want the healthy kind of cholesterol, and that's what you get with the grapeseed oil.
Well, actually, it's the carrier protein for the cholesterol. Yeah. If we were getting real, well, you know that you told me that.
So, but this is all men stuff, you know.
Yeah.
You have to start from the idea that you're a man. And there's not a lot of people telling us out there, and it took years to try to understand and deprogram myself from what the women were telling you to do.
And the thing as well, if you have your cholesterol at an optimum level, because everything's on an optimum, the sunshine, the vitamin D3 works with cholesterol to produce testosterone. So you put on a sunscreen, you have a low-fat diet, you have the low vitamin, you don't get any access to the vitamin C, you don't have any cholesterol used for what it's supposed to be, which is healthy cell walls, you don't produce any testosterone whatsoever, you end up growing breasts.
Yeah.
It's absolute. Once you put those dots together, you think, my God, this is so easy, and I don't need to eat very much. And in fact, you save money because you don't buy any garbage.
Yeah, and there's a purging system that men do. It's you in all of this stuff with the raising your testosterone. There's a purging system with the high fats and everything, and the zinc. The estrogen binds to that. It goes to your liver. Then you purge that fat out of your liver, and that's why what you were saying was so important. Get your healthy liver. Get that going, and then you purge that out, and then the testosterone takes hold. You just get rid of all that estrogen out of you, and
how do you purge? How do you purge the estrogen?
You can use activated. Sorry,
zinc. Zinc goes from your carbon, and then it's zinc. It'll look in the carbon thing like this, and then the zinc, and then the estrogen, and it binds to the fat. The fat binds to the zinc, then the estrogen, and then that goes to your liver, and it purges through your liver.
And you speed up the process if you use vitamin B3.
Vitamin B3.
Just after and during exercise, for about 20 minutes, you can get all the crap comes out of your skin. You can shower off.
That's where
if you activated charcoal at the same time, you take it through your gut.
Yeah, so you might want to you do that high fat, the vitamin, the zinc, the vitamin C, and all that. Then you go on a fast, and you let your body do it. Let your body go. Let it take care of that. You might want to look into a liver purge, like after you get done with your fast, purge everything out of your liver, and then restart and go from there.
I feel I've done that with 2 or 3 years of apple cider vinegar, because you can either do an immediate purge for, like taking all the furniture out of the room, vacuum the carpets, put it back in, or long term. Absolutely great regime of apple cider vinegar. The long-term results are pretty much the same, I would imagine. Although I guess if your body's on or off, it's always doing this. It's
right. It's always flip-flopping.
It's flip-flopping all the time because that's how it gauges where it is. It's got that because it can't got any eyes. It's no metering. It's got to do on off. So it's way
That's
in
why
between
fast is so good for you,
yeah.
because it starts that cycle. A lot of like people that there's no cycle in there. It's just a constant, and there's no cycle. And it's us building up estrogen. We see this with married men, and then they get effeminated, and they're wondering why. And then it's like, hey, it, we all have different bodies too. That's what you have to think. My body's totally different from your body, and I carry weight. If I didn't do what I do and ride for 6-7 miles a day, I'd be 380 pounds. So consider what you are too, and as long as you get rid of that estrogen and do what's right for you, you're going to live longer, no matter what your body type is too.
Mm. Well, the other thing is inflammation, removing inflammation.
Oh.
The turmeric and black pepper has been an absolute revolution.
Yeah, I was just looking at something to remove inflammation, and it was you get the generic sort of stuff from the internet with garlic and ginger, and I use a lot of ginger myself. It's just
I just have a teaspoonful of turmeric and crushed fresh pepper and neck it down and try not to throw up, and it's fine. It actually isn't that. It sounds terrible. No, it's actually not that bad. But I'm interested to try the vitamin C trick with the egg.
yeah. That's
Really
you can look it up on
disgusting.
how to enhance your vitamin C. They'll tell you, and they'll tell you to use a sonic generator that cleans rings. That's what they
Well, I'll have
told
to
me.
just mash with a fork for now. I'll just use the whole egg. Surely to God, will that not work?
No, don't use the whole egg, just the center.
Right. Well, I know how to get the yolk out. You just use a plastic.
Yeah, and then you can use the white, save the white, and then use that for your morning breakfast and your proteins and your breads or whatever you're making, but separate the egg yolk from the egg. And that's always a good idea when you get home as a man. Separate your yolks from your eggs. Put your yolks in a little jar, and put your eggs in a little jar, because you want those yolks when you do your vitamin mix in the morning. You don't need the whole egg. You may take that and use it for other stuff, and it assist in your life.
Oh,
Makes
really?
things
Well,
easy.
the egg white I'd use well, I just chuck it in the pan, fry it up, and stick it with the bacon.
Stick it up, make
It's
sandwich.
fine, yeah. If I'm using the yolk for a different purpose.
Yeah, you can even use.
Most of the health discoveries, from what I can see, if you've seen Ivor Cummins on YouTube, have you seen him, the Fat Emperor? He and this other fella called not Eric Berg, the other fella, Eric Schmidt. He's discovered that most of the leaps forward in men's health have been by engineers.
Yeah,
because they look at the stats, the data, and the the studies, and it's engineers who are men who are thinking, well, that's what's the data telling you? Well, that's not working. That works.
yeah, they can see the structures too,
Yeah.
and males have
Engineering.
different structures than females, and it's
Zinc, meat. Well, I get zinc from meat.
you can see
I'm
zinc.
concerned about what foods give you magnesium. Nuts.
Oh, you could do the psyllium with the nuts.
Oh, I've got psyllium husks. Oh, right,
Yeah.
psyllium. All right, that's that cured. Psyllium
With
husks.
none of the Brazil nuts are really good for you, but I wouldn't overdo on the Brazil nuts because of you'd have to use the iodine with it to remove it.
Right.
The heavy metal, psyllium's a heavy metal.
Right, so I'll. Oh, selenium, do you mean?
Selenium, yeah.
Ah, right, I was thinking psyllium husks. Right, how does selenium give me magnesium?
Oh, I don't think it does. I think you need both. I think selenium, that was what gave people multiple sclerosis, wasn't it? And they cured
If you
it.
eat too much of it.
And they cured it in dogs, but they didn't cure it in humans. And what was that guy, Jerry Lewis? He had to do a telethon until he found out, holy shit, you just put selenium in the diet and you cure the fucking thing. Holy shit.
Yeah, you'd eat a lot of Brazil nuts, and you can get poisoning from them too. So you gotta. Yeah, I think it's more like that thing where you need a little bit of it, but you don't need to do a lot.
Yeah, you
Trace
just need
element,
some
right.
trace element. You know,
Yeah.
you need
So
60,
what about
but
magnesium? That's because magnesium crops up every time I look into vitamin D.
Vitamin D, yeah.
So, because that you can become a shortfall in magnesium if your vitamin D's at the right levels, because it's quite a bit of vitamin D.
Yeah, I was
So,
listening to Stardust once, and he explained why the selenium was important for the male diet, and it was in
if
the
I don't
one
get
other guy that
selenium, that's
explained.
a trace element. Should I get that out of the salt?
Yeah,
Right. So magnesium, would I get that out of the salt?
you get magnesium depending on what sort of salt choice you buy,
Well, I've got
and you use
Mediterranean and I've got
use
Himalayan.
the pink salt. You're going to get plenty of magnesium out of that.
All right. Okay. Job done.
Yeah.
Job done. Because I put it on everything. I was a sprinkle every day.
Oh, you
Only
know
a
what
good
else?
pinch.
Good, really good, nice magnesium where it's edible, and do you use the kefirs?
Well, the yogurty thing, no.
You use the kefirs, and then you buy the water kefirs, and then you ferment your vegetables, and with the kefirs, and then you get a nice amount. Who was it? Remember the young kid that came around? What did he go by? Batman. He had the Batman thing, and
Oh, the cartoonist.
no, he was an engineer, but he dropped out. I can't remember what his name was now, but he had a diet that he used the kefirs to ferment his vegetables, and I was pushing that, and he was like, "That's a super food there." With the magnesium, and we were talking about that, and he was an engineer, and he had terrific effects. It actually cured him of a disease that he had, uh, and so he was fermenting all of his vegetables with kefir.
So that'll
excuse
bring
me,
up the magnesium.
what in
Right?
the hell is kefir other than someone's last name?
Similar
Oh,
to
kefir
yogurt.
is really, it's like yogurt. It gives you all those good things to help with your digestion and everything.
It's like
But kefir,
it's like a yogurt, or it's
the yeast yogurt is a kefir grain, they call it. It looks like a little cauliflower about that big, and then it ferments things.
oh,
And
I've never
you,
heard of it. I'll look it up.
yeah, if you take it, put it in milk, you warm your milk, leave it overnight. The kefir will turn it into like a Greek yogurt, and then I mix blueberries with it, and that's how I get my tannuses for my neuro works. You know,
Do you use creatine monohydrate to help your brain fog? Because Jerry Brainham, he uses it. Have you heard of Jerry Brainham? You must have come across him.
no, I don't
He's
think I.
an absolute. He's got a newsletter called Applied Metabolics.
Okay,
He's a bodybuilder, contemporary of Arnold's, but he's a real whiz on diet and how to
yeah,
optimize health in the older man, because I think he's about 70.
right, yeah,
So he really does know his onions. Jerry Brainham, I can't recommend him highly. It's him who put me on to taking leucine in older age, to
yeah,
uptake the amino acids. It
yeah,
actually brings up your protein. Is why I can maintain strength in the gym. It's only now and again, well, like you say, you've got receptors. If you take this thing too much, you fill off your receptors. You don't get the benefits. So
yeah. Think about what you want in that, what it
hopefully
kickstarts.
they do this with the drugs. By all
Yeah,
accounts, they take the drug, the receptors get filled up, they get no more benefits, so they've got to cycle the drugs, and that's basically the same with everything in your diet.
right.
Because
Everything's in
again,
moderation.
TikTok up, down, in, out thing.
Yeah, even the vitamin C, I bulk it, and then I bulk it in me, and then I stop and
Yeah,
let my body go back to a natural state.
to produce demand, basically. That's scarcity around with the boom. Amazing how that boom and bust economics was never going to change then. So that's a natural state of things. Think
Yeah.
about it. Right, I've
Yeah.
learned a lot there.
But kefir, adding kefir to your diet, it enhances a lot of things. It raises your testosterone too. I found that there's really pluses with it. Plus, in the morning, it makes things easier, and that's what we want in Mgtow. You just want things to be easy in your life. I get up, little glass of kefir, some blueberries in there, mix it up, I drink it, I'm gone.
I like frying a breakfast. I do. Nice high fat, bit of protein, not much, but and an egg, vitamin A done.
Yeah, you can work a lot. It's just funny how a lot of these things just work into a more natural form of life, a less stressful. Mgtow, it's a less stressful form of life, and then we just start doing these little things where that was easier doing that was easier doing that than the female way, and it becomes a natural form of your life. You lose your stress, and that'll, man, put 10 years on your life.
I mean, Mgtow, get the job done. Women, let's do all the fancy flowers and all the bit. And
Yeah,
nothing's been done.
oh God.
True. Anyway,
Yeah, what female do you know doesn't have a bottle of bug spray in her kitchen?
just don't leave any food out.
Oh yeah, that's
I
so
don't
so.
get any bugs. It's just unreal.
Yeah, that's so horrible for you. And every female I've ever known in my life has always had a bottle of bug spray underneath it, where they spray the cabinets. They spray every time they see an ant, it freaks them out. And then I'm like, you're putting that stuff in you.
Mental. Yes,
Mem-
Vapona, that's the stuff, isn't it? Vapona. That's what it's called over here, the bug spray. Fly spray. Unbelievable. Well,
Fly
that's
spray.
unbelievable. I'm going to do that tonight. I'm going to get an egg yolk.
Okay.
I'm going to do that. I am.
Yeah, with the egg yolk and the vitamin
Yeah.
C, that's
In fact, when I was experimenting with water, a pinch of salt, and buckwheat flour to make a very
buckwheat.
basic flatbread. Because
Yeah.
buckwheat obviously is full of vitamin K, isn't it? Vitamin K2.
Yeah.
But the flour, I mean, I've had it for ages and I've never used it. So if I use buckwheat flour, pinch of salt, that's basically a great healthy
Hmm.
carbohydrate in a very low amount. Because obviously, if I have too much, I'll end up putting blood sugar up. And it tastes great when you fry it in ghee. Pinch of salt, it's beautiful. It's like a naan, sort of. It's lovely.
Now that's what held me up on that. There's no way around here we don't get buckwheat. I went to every store and I have to order the buckwheat from like Amazon or something and wait
Oh,
for it.
we get it in stores. It's
You get it in the stores.
normal.
We don't have buckwheat around here. Nobody eats it, and it's not in any stores. And I'm like, why isn't there buckwheat? No,
It'd
I'd
be in a
like to eat it.
vegan store.
Yeah,
Vegans eat it.
yeah, you'd have to go to a vegan store. I've been using rice flour lately, and trying to experiment with rice flour.
You not
And
find it turns into gloop.
it turns
Got
into
the
glue. But
starch in it.
yeah, you have to put a little bit of starch in it. What they call the glue, about a quarter, they say. But I've been trying to make those wraps where the clear wraps for the vegetables, and then I put shrimp in there, and you have peanut oil dip. And I've been trying to learn how to do that. So since I have to drive 40 miles to go to a restaurant that serves that. So, and then that enhances my quality of
Mm.
my diet and everything. And plus, it's just I love those things.
Well, I'm actually experimenting with how, at the moment, how much more food I can eat for pleasure.
For
And
pleasure.
I've actually found I'm losing weight. I'm down to 140 over the last few days, and I've actually eaten more. So I feel like I've got the golden touch. And the only change factor, I'm eating more food. The only change is that I've increased my walking because of the lockdown. If
Oh
ever
God,
there was proof positive, I mean, I've run marathons, as you know. I've run from here to the moon.
walking is
Regular training. Just go for a walk. That's
just go
the
for a
best.
walk.
Oh man, you can
Yeah,
enjoy the countryside, the sunshine, or the rain, and you get all the fire burning. It absolutely gets everything going.
yeah. I do the e-biking now because I have to, because my knees, after I cracked my knee off last
Mm.
year, and so I'm still doing. But I got back to the point from the e-biking now that I'm about about a week ago. I was like, okay, I'm going to try my first walk, my first real walk, and I was like, I measured it out and I did a mile around. I got back and man, did I feel good. I was like, I was like a kid. I'm jumping in the air like, woo!
Nice.
Well, walking, thinking about it is really. I bet it raises testosterone.
Oh, I bet you.
I bet that's one of the things it does. I bet if we investigated it.
Yeah, but it's just so nice, and just being able to walk and observe your natural surroundings around you. And I like to look at the world and observe the world and see what's real and what's not real. I do that as a philosopher. I want to observe the world that which I live in. I want to know everything about every little thing. In walking, you're there. You're there, and your mind's working, your body's working, and it's if you lose like twice in my life, I lost the ability to walk, and I had to battle back from those things. And once you got it back, it's a joy. It becomes, a lot of people don't walk, and they're like, "Oh, that's too much work," and it's like, man, no, that's a joy. That's one of the things in life that,
Privilege.
if you lose it, then you like, oh my god, and then you like, I can't walk. Yeah, if you can't walk for 2 years, like I was not able to walk for, you appreciate it. After that first time when I tore my Achilles heel tendons, uh, I couldn't walk for 2 years, and when I was walking 5 miles a day once it was healed. It was like 5 miles a day just walking. I was like, so because it's fun then, and you have a perspective from a different side of somebody that can't walk. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
then it becomes
You
like
have a good
valuable.
perspective.
Hmm.
Looking at my abs.
Although I wish I could just get rid of all my fat, but I don't have that type of body. And wishing, what wishing is. It's praying for something that's not going to happen. But maybe someday.
Depends how much carbohydrate you have. You could. Well, thing is, are you healthy?
There we are. There's the
That's it.
question.
That's
That's the
there's
question.
your marker. Are you
Yeah.
healthy?
You
Have
know
you got
another
an
guy in
immune
the world
system
that,
like a brick crusher?
yeah,
Yes. Well, there we are then.
And
That's the end of that
and every once in
discussion.
a while you do a change, you mix it up, you move back into balance,
yeah,
and then you shock the system again, keep things moving.
right.
It,
Last summer I did 3,000 miles on that bike.
Jesus, man.
You know anybody else in the world that does that?
I
I
didn't
did
I
three.
didn't even do 3,000 miles in my fucking imagination. My
So
God,
cycling
I didn't
makes you
go that
fat.
far. Yeah.
So cycling makes you gain weight. Is that what you're saying? It's all
Yeah.
that bloody. It's all that vitamin C and lemon juice.
Yeah, my God.
You know what? Doing that thing, uh, I never had a summer that I can remember where I was happy like that. I was ecstatic to go out every day. I was happy. Just the way I thought and the way people approach me and the way I approach people was just much better. It's the first time in my life since I was a kid that I had that vigor,
Joy.
that happiness in life. And that's Mgtow, and make you put the Mgtow with a little bit of exercise, walking, bike riding, and stuff like that. You begin to appreciate life again. I mean, that's some of the things that doing the mating process and everything. Them are some of the things that get taken away from you. You know, and you're not going into woods. You're not walking trails. You're not doing what naturally men would be doing, and you're miserable.
You're frustrating your purpose, as the Victorians put it.
And it has a change on your psyche too. I'm not cruel anymore to the people. I'm not harsh. I don't think I'm harsh. Sometimes I am, but I know
Well,
it's just
it's
me.
funny. We had the camera on yesterday, um, looking out, and as the couples went past, the men rose that little half step behind.
Yeah.
They weren't striding forth. They were basically castrated.
Yeah.
It's a terrible thing to see.
Isn't that weird how men walk behind the women when they're subjugated like that?
Not where I
But
am. Holy
that's a
shit.
sign of subjugation.
I give way
It
to
is.
older men. That seems to be the culture here. So everyone expects me to go first, so I go first.
Expect you to go through. Yeah, it's a cultural thing for the
Yeah,
men.
yeah.
Probably better. It's a lot of times when I look out, I always see a man walking behind a woman. She's leading,
Well,
and he's subjugated.
Yeah.
Well, that's the good news about fourth wave, 200th wave feminism. I just drive through the door. If I hold the door open, it'll just be because it's reciprocating. I'll do it for anybody, but if it's a toss up, I just carry on going.
Yeah, yeah. And that tells you a lot about yourself too.
Yeah.
How you're approaching those things, whether you're balanced on those things, and but it seems funny when they talk about that. But once you dissect the whole thing, if you're a well balanced male, you hold it if it's appropriate, and then you expect reciprocal altruism, them to hold the next door for you,
Right.
and stuff like that, and you get a well balance in this world where you're happy and you're smiling and things aren't bothering you.
Mm.
And that's every second. You got to beware every second of the day when you're out there that gynocentrum doesn't start putting you, where you don't think you're good enough, where you're running up and holding the door, trying to get some validation and stuff like that. Yeah, that's so unhealthy for you.
Yeah,
And
my
I've
God, I couldn't imagine that.
it's
Uh,
I am so liberated. It's taken all this. Well, you've known. I think it was within the first month of. I think it was 2016 when I started with this kid. Do you remember the hangout I was in with you and SFM? And I got absolutely beasted. Who the hell's this guy? It was Sunday
where
night.
where the hell is
Got a
SFM?
beast.
He was in my
around.
Discord. Just left a little note, and that was it. I hope he's
Yeah,
well in
he's
this.
around. He's doing his thing, and that's great.
Yeah.
He took Mgtow, now he's doing his thing, and he's a young man, so he wants to build his life and get that perfect life that he always wanted
Yeah.
in his learning and his activities and his learning, and that takes a little while away from Mgtow too. That's an important point that we never talk about. Sometimes you take that what you learned and then you apply it, and you're not going to be around the Mgtow then come back and then you'll have a story to tell
Yeah.
how it succeeded.
Because MGTOW is a human doings, not human beings.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to do something. There's activities that you're going to have to do, and while you're doing that, you may not have time for to do the actual Mgtow and talk about it, and you're away from it, and that's okay. It's always good to be away from something, but still applying it.
Well, that, again, Trav, that's do it for a short period of time,
Yeah.
and turn it off, and your receptive capability. It's all a function of male.
It's all the function of male. Yeah,
existence,
when
masculinity.
Winninger was talking about the male and Sex and Sensibility, not sex and with the book he writes, Winninger's book, he talks about that, how males go through cycles, and then you learn how to stop a cycle, and you reflect on what you did good, and if something fails, you learn to stop that cycle and restart a new cycle, and then that's what men do. Boom, 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 cycle to cycle, cycle to cycle.
And when you come back, I mean, look, it's how long ago is it since we were chatting regularly? It's got to be a good 18 months.
Yeah,
At
probably
least.
18. Yeah.
So, and that's things men do. We can remember these conversations, click in as if there's never been a way, and that's how men operate. Why? Because they value different opinions, they value different ways of everything.
Well, tomorrow I'm going to be doing one of these cycles. I'm getting, I think, either tomorrow or the next day, depending. Get the hell out of the city, get back to the country, and there everything is going to get back to what it should have been. I'm back on the farm. I'm in the sunshine and the beach, and with a group of men that are, as you say, they're willing to listen to new ideas, and they've been great. So
Yeah, that's
so.
when you stop at a certain point, and that's why we say do the introspection. You stop, you do this, find out about yourself, and some of that stuff is going to be horrible stuff that you got to tell yourself. I've been acting this way. I've been doing this. I've been having these thoughts.
I've got a whole thing on that.
Yeah.
One of my big interests is human behaviour.
Yeah, I've been
applied
reading.
to all things, and I've got this little cycle which I think you find it funny. And this sort of sums it all up, and it's very, very useful when I'm trying to improve something or manage people or do whatever, which is this:
Oh,
value, contain, engage, empower. So you work out where you are, value
right.
yourself, okay, or the other person, and you're basically weighing them up or weighing yourself up or the
You're weighing
situation up.
yourself up. Yeah.
Then you contain. You say, right, well, let's have a real look at it. Hold it there. Hold on
Mhm.
to it. Let's just keep it in one place, and then engage with whatever it is, and and add to it, take away from it, learn
Mhm.
from it, engage with
Good.
it, and then, as you say, let it digest, let it
Oh, yeah.
seep through. That's the empowerment phase, and then so you've add something, you've taken something away, you've let it marinade, if you like, and then you weigh it all up again, and round you go again, and this again is your cycle. This is what you're talking about. So you're constantly valuing things, you're containing it, you're holding on to it so that you can engage with it, taking something away, adding to it, or developing it, and then you let it marinate. So you're becoming more empowered, and
Right.
then off you got that,
Yeah, I've been
and
reading.
that is what you seem to be describing.
Yeah, I've been reading a book on the dark side of humans, and we all have this dark side, and one of the only ways you can get rid of that dark side, and it worked for me in the last few years. You notice I don't do the casual cruelty. I think about how I treat everybody, even that's even women and stuff, and how I reflect. But
Easy.
there's a dark side to us men, and the only way to get in touch with that dark side is to look inside of yourself and spot it
Face
and
it. Yeah, face
examine
it down.
and go through one of those cycles, and then you can do things as you can take that out into your life, and what can I put in my life, what's healthy and what's walking, or whatever your favorite activity is, working on everything, and how can I get rid of this. And once you spark that dark side, you let the cycle go through, and then at least you know of it. Then it's better than a lot of guys. We don't do that. We don't do that. Most blue pill guys won't do the introspection, so it's just that thing that keeps going with them, that never stops, and it's a bad thing, and they don't do it, and they never. We all have
Mm.
to look. All of us monks, we look deep into ourselves, and we look for those things, and that will come out in everything in life, into the real world, where your healthy habits and your goals will start reflect that. Hmm. And we become better people. We become good people and happy. And it's more, you become a happy person. And I like being a happier person better than being that guy I used to
Me
be.
too. I have to say, I've never been this happy for so long.
Yeah,
Free.
even,
You get ecstatic periods in the blue pill world, but that soon fades off once she withdraws the access to the golden, you know what,
uh,
and throws a blanket over your friends so you can't see them, socially castrates you. Oh, I don't want to even contemplate that.
yeah,
My life is so different now. Do you know what? I walk around and I see these others. I call them the others now.
yeah, the others.
I started with them estrogenic life forms, and I just look at them like the others, and
Yeah,
they're just irrelevant to me. I, and I don't mean any by that as criticism. They just
no,
mean nothing to me at all.
they're a different breed, and they can't be part of
Completely
our.
nothing to do with me.
Yeah,
Absolutely nothing to do with me. For this, the same way I'll walk past the cereal packets because
yeah,
I just it's white noise because that's not appropriate for me. I don't do that. And all the
yeah.
whiskey now, I've sort of tuned that out because
Well, yeah, then I think that you develop healthy habits in your life that make you feel better about your
yeah,
life.
I don't want to
That
waste
goes
time
out
with
to
the
real
others.
things.
Yeah, not
Which,
socially, professionally, I have to. But
yeah, how your brain works, and we have, how we hear, we see,
hmm,
we smell, we taste. Epicureanism is a big part of how our brain functions. And once you're happy, and you're not hearing those bad things anymore, you're you're hearing good things, and you're hearing it, it, you're not a lot of people, a lot of blue pill people do it. We I always say it's going in one ear and out the other. They can't hear it. And then you break down those things, and every function of your body is working better. The way you see things. I explained that in the photography when you take a picture. Walk around your neighborhood, take a picture of things that interest you, and then look at those pictures because that's a telltale sign of you.
Mm.
And then do the introspections, do everything you could get a healthy, get back, do that cycle, and then take some pictures. Go out and walk around again and take some pictures. You will notice a vast difference in how you're seeing the world.
Geez, I like that. That's nice.
Yeah, it's like your
Yeah.
mental health and everything is like.
Oh
So
yeah, you can't put a price. You're absolutely right, and the effect on everything if your mental health isn't right. God.
yeah,
Oh, that's it. And I think in this crisis we're in, getting together like this is great. And Trav, I'm going to end the stream now, but I hope that you and MM as well are getting an idea that, and I want to thank you for reminding me how to get people into the chat if I can invite them.
this is a good experiment you did today.
Yeah, no, and this is the second time I think we've been up with this, but I want to let you know that if you get hangouts going up, and then you got OBS, you just put the URL of the hangout into the browser URL, and then click the OBS controls the audio. Then that's it. Just make sure it's activated in the OBS, and you're there. It'll be automatically activated.
My computer's not got enough power for OBS. I tried it and it just ground to a halt. It's so
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's the problem.
I
So
got
I'm
it on
looking
my
to
laptop,
automate-
which is 7 years old. My laptop's 7 years old, but right
Oh
now,
right, okay.
but right now
Well,
I'm working on a iCore 7
Are you
system.
working on building it?
What's that?
Are you building it?
No, I bought it and it's done. So somebody
Alright.
somebody else built it for me, and it's working. It's pretty powerful. So
Yeah, best thing.
That's what I need. My Lenovo's falling apart.
yeah.
SFM showed me how to build computers, and then I built the Ryzen here, and now I can do all this, and I don't have to worry about no speed. It's
Yeah.
like this thing is just huge.
Yeah, it's huge. This I got to say, it's huge. I'm running OBS. I'm running the Google Hangouts. I'm running the YouTube. I can look stuff up on the internet. Jesus, I can bring up an Adobe. I don't know whether I want to do a Photoshop at the moment, but I probably could.
Right? Yeah. You need those cores. You got to get more cores.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to end this now. It's 3 in the morning here. I got to get back on schedule. I'm way off, but this is great. We'll do it again, and whenever I'm up during this crisis and whatever, let's get together and keep the flow going. Keep me sane. This is helping me.
Well, I've calmed right down. It's your voice, Trav. Your voice.
Yes.
Value. It's the like-minded. It's a like mind.
Yeah.
It's such catharsis. Is that the word?
It's a release. That.
Absolutely.
And yeah.
Oh, breathing lighter. Everything's. Oh, I.
And thank everyone in the chat for coming in. Mgtow Thread, you just got in here. CJ, you've been in for a while. You're probably pretty relaxed where you're living, and we appreciate that coming in. And Mgtow Warrior, thanks for coming in. I don't know why you couldn't come in the stream or why I couldn't invite you, but next time, the link for the Hangout will be there if you want to jump in. And I know how to do that now. We'll get it going smooth. Thanks, Trav.
Cool.
Thanks, MM, and if I can figure out how to end all of this now, my God.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, y'all.
Anyway, I'm out of here.